Charlotte, along with a lot of other cities, has been known as a city of churches. And being in the Bible Belt, there are churches all over this city, and they're so beautiful. And as congregations sometimes dwindle or sometimes move on or whatever it might be, being able to preserve those places is a way of just preserving Charlotte's history. I think my favorite thing is watching when people walk through the door and they look up and they're just like, oh, wow, if they've never been in here, And I think that's what you want churches to feel like anyway. That's why they were built this way. They were built to be grand and to have, reach up to the sky, and they were meant to have this beautiful grandeur about them. And I think this building wasn't getting that for so many years.
Churches are a little more difficult because they have a pretty specific identity already. Obviously people see church, they know church, that's a church. And probably the most, challenging thing of that is you're essentially giving it a new identity or rebranding that structure. And that doesn't necessarily mean that people don't have to recognize that it was ever a church. Sometimes that's kind of part of the kitsch of the whole thing.
I don't know, there's something I like about the fact that neither of these churches that we're working on were just discarded and it died and fizzled away. I like to follow along and see what happened to the congregation. And I think nowadays you always assume that the congregation died. But it didn't. It didn't here and it didn't at the other one. Because what is a church? It's the congregation itself, right? It's the people in there, and they continue onward somewhere else.